Welcome along everybody, it is now round one of our brand new championship designed by LWR Design aka Mark Miller, the BRZ series. This is the Subaru BRZ, it's an absolutely fantastic car to drive, I'm just getting used to it now. The car wise, really good on turning, you can really throw it into the corners, you can brake pretty late in this one. My brake balance is set to +2 to the rear. And you can really rev out 4th and 5th gear at Watkins Glen here, so watch the lap. All the details are going to be in there. Of course, our series brought to you by DMJ Sim Hub, Vroom Room Gaming, D.Racing, myself WPR Hotlap who's doing the lap guides, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, LWR Design who's made another magnificent series. So let's get on to the lap. Lap 4 was my quickest, second quickest lap, but it was a tidier lap than lap 9 that I got my fastest lap on a practice run. This is with race settings, so you'll see the tyre and fuel depletion, and we'll get into our view and we'll get straight onto the lap. Here we go. Staying in 5th gear, we are braking just on the 200 for turn 1. As you can see, just braking now. And you want to stay in 4th gear for this one. You can cut right onto the curb if you can, and you can run out mid 80 mile an hour. Almost 90 if you get it exactly right, but I never got that lucky, so here we go. Mid-80, cut down, run out onto the curb, use all the curb. Now you want to rev 4th gear out here until you see this black sign right here. This is my changing marker. As you see, I'm just changed up to 5th gear now. And you're going to keep 5th gear all the way up to the bus stop, so let's go. And this car does hold 5th very well, it keeps pulling. I did try it in 6th gear a couple of times, but 5th gear seems to be faster. Now for this, it is very late braking here, so we are looking at the 300 board where we're going to start braking. Or just before, so let's get right up to it. As you can see, just starting to brake now. Now you want to try braking a straight line and lift off before you start to turn in, or the car will get a bit slidey. And you want to change to 4th gear, and you're going to really hit the bus stop pretty hard, so here we go. As you can see, 117 through the first part, accelerate out to 120 when you get off the curb. Now this one, you just want to let the car coast round and get on the power early because of the turn-in. The car holds very well. At the 200 board, as you can see here, just on the right, we are changing down to 4th gear, and you're going to stay in 4th for this one. You don't want to go down to 3rd because of the camber. If you get on the power on 3rd coming out, it will kind of get the car slidey. 3rd gear is particularly nasty in this car, I'd say, because if you're got too much steering lock on, when you accelerate, the car will go round. So be careful of 3rd gear, stay in 4th, coming down the hill. Cut onto the curb if you can, get on the power early, use all the curb on the outside if you need to. Now coming uphill here, very tricky. As you can see, just as this sign touches the left hand side of the screen, the second last GT sign, from 5th we're going to go down to 3rd and we're going to coast in the first part. And then when you can get the car kind of straight, you're going to come out in 3rd, although be very careful when you do it. Let the car get up the hill. There, the trees, that's pretty much your full power acceleration marker here. As soon as the trees are in the middle of your screen, get on the power, and as long as the car is straight enough, you'll get all the way over without spinning out. Now for this one, I was always braking at the 200, but I'm actually braking for this one just about halfway. 150 is about the braking for here, and you're going to go down to 3rd. You're going to cut onto the curb and be very careful coming out in 3rd once more. So a bit wary on the power here I am. And about 70 miles an hour is good for this one. Yep, 70. Get on the curb, get off the curb, get on the power, use the outside curb. Looking for the 100 from 4th. You're going to change down to 3rd. And it's a late apex for this one. And again, it's going to be very tricky in 3rd. So get on the power. Don't run too wide. Now coming up to the penultimate corner here, Usually we're braking for this one, but because the turning is so good on the Subaru, we're just going to lift off. And it's only going to be a slight lift, and you want to try to take this one at about 117, 120 miles an hour. And if you cut enough of the curb, you'll make the corner quite easily. Here we go. Cut onto the curb. Use the runoff. And for this one, where the barrier changes here on the left hand side, we're going to go from 5th to 4th. And we're going to stay in 4th. And you want to try and take this the final corner at about 100 miles an hour. And you won't run out and hit the wall, so you should be okay. I got a little bit on the grass there, as you can see, and I slid it round somehow. But I didn't drop much speed, so that was okay. That is our lap of Watkins Glen long course in the BRZ. What we'll do is we'll go out and we'll do it all again, out of camera. Here we go. There's the 200 down to 4th, late turn in. Could have gone the power a bit earlier, could have carried a few miles an hour there and abused more of this curb, but that's okay. Up to 5th at that sign. And then just running the curb, letting the car go, letting it drift to the left. Be careful of the grass, especially when you start braking. Here's the 300, down to 4th, cut right in. Use the bus stop. Could have been a little bit tighter here, but I would have lost more speed. Before the marshal post, you want to be accelerating. This car will hold it. 5th down to 4th, cut in here. Could have been closer to the curb. I would have gone the power fractionally earlier, but that's okay. Coming out in 4th is good for this one. Revving it up in 4th, down to 3rd. Waiting, waiting, waiting. There's the trees. Get on the power. Again, you can rev this one out in 4th. 150 down to 3rd. Cut in, onto the curb, get on the power as soon as you're off the curb. As long as you're not applying too much lock. Late entry this one, get on the power. You can touch the curb there if you want to, would have made it a little bit better, but that's okay. Just lift off here, slight lift, get on the power as soon as you touch the curb. There's the wall change. As you can see, just hit the grass and just drifted into that apex. Luckily enough, it didn't cost me too much. But that is our lap of round 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you very soon for the next round. Cheers all.